Good morning, everybody. I hope that you see me and you hear me. Please just wait a few minutes. I need to check it on the YouTube and everything is okay. We're gonna continue. The topic of our lecture today is ontology as a section of philosophy. Ontology as a section of philosophy. Okay, what you need to know about ontology. Ontology is one of the sections of philosophy that studies existence. Existence, as far as you already know, is a basic concept of philosophy because it describes everything that happens around us in the world, in the nature, in society, and in our life. Ontology, this is a section of philosophy which studies existence, and existence is a basic concept of philosophy and ontology. The author of the concept of ontology was a German philosopher, Rudolf Goclenius. He was first who tells us about philosophy. He wrote a book which was titled The Philosophical Vocabulary, and in this book he first tells us about philosophy and about ontology as a section of philosophy. Okay, what is the basic characteristic of existence? You need to know that existence has several own characteristics. What is it? The first one, the development of existence is constantly. The development of existence is constantly. The development of existence is constantly. So the next, the development of existence happens during the time. And the development of existence is full of contradictions. That's the reason why there is several forms of existence. Please try to remember that there is 6 basic forms of existence, but I'm gonna tell you about it later. Basic forms of existence. Okay, so you know that there is a basic question of philosophy: what comes first, mind or existence? Ontology has its own basic question too. What is existence? What is existence? This is basic question of ontology. Okay. The author of the concept of existence was an ancient Greek philosopher Parmenides. He was philosopher of Hellenic school, and he was philosopher of idealism. Здесь положить. Спасибо большое. The main idea of the concept of existence by Parmenides was that there is only existence in our world, and there is no nothing else. There is nothing else in the world except existence. Existence is a universal concept of philosophy. Which describes basic laws of development of the world, nature, and human society. There were several characteristics of the existence by Parmenides. You need to know it, such as integrity, truthfulness, goodness, and beauty. According to Parmenides, these were basic several characteristics of existence. I repeat it one more time. Integrity, truthfulness, goodness, and beauty. Integrity, truthfulness, goodness, and beauty. Okay. Parmenides was on opinion that there is only existence and the world. So it and that's the reason why he was criticized for such opinion. And different philosophers try to create an alternative theories of existence. Of existence. Okay. One of the most famous critics of existence theory by Parmenides was an ancient Greek philosopher Heraclite. Heraclite criticized a theory of Parmenides. According to Heraclite, the development of existence was full of contradictions. Because of this, Heraclite tries to use dialectic in studying of philosopher. Of existence. Okay, what do we must know about ontology by Heraclite? The reason why Heraclite created the concept non-existence. So he criticized Heraclite and tried to create an alternative theory of ontology. And the basic idea of this theory was the concept of non-existence. What is non-existence? The concept of philosophy, which describes not only destruction of some object or phenomenon, but also its transition to another way of development. Heraclite was on opinion that philosophy wouldn't be science if it will studies only existence. Philosophy need to study non-existence too. And Heraclite believes that one of the problems of ontology must be a problem of non-existence. Heraclite was philosopher of materialism. And according to him, existence of the world was based on such material phenomenon like fire. Okay. Heraclite believes that the fire is a basic element of the world existence, and the fire has its own contradiction too, because fire can help us in our life, and there is many dangerous Okay. The main book written by Heraclite was titled About the Nature. In this book, Heraclite describes his vision of the concept non-existence, and in this book he created a theory according to which fire is a basic element of existence. Just a moment, please. I'm back. Let's continue. As far as you already know, there are two basic types of philosophy: idealism and materialism. Both of them were created in the ancient Greek. The creator of idealism were Plato and Pythagoras. The creators of materialism were Leucippus and Democritus. So, idealism and materialism are used in ontology too. Are used in ontology too. And according to idealism, existence was a substance. What is substance? This is some kind of ideal basic of the world. According to materialism, existence was a substrate. Existence was a substrate. What is substrate? This is some kind of material basic of the world. This is some kind of a material basic of the world. Okay, please try to remember the difference between these two types of understanding of existence. The concept of substance and substrate were used by philosophers of Miletian school, such as Thales, Anaximan, Anaximander, and so on. All these philosophers try to create a theory that explained the basic element of the world. According to Thales, the basic element of the world was the water. According to Anaximan, it was the air. And according to Anaximander, it was an appearance. Appearance, this is the ideal. Just a moment. Please pay your attention. The basic difference between substance and substrate is its material and ideal nature. Substance is ideal and substrate is material. Okay, now let's continue our conversation. Just a moment. I need to tell you a few words about idealistic ontology by Plato. Idealistic ontology by Plato. Idealistic ontology by Plato. According to Plato, existence is a world of ideas. According to Plato, existence is a world of ideas. The main idea according to Plato, is idea of godness. Plato believes that everybody can get a goodness, can reach a goodness, and there is no inequality in the world. Of course, we can tell that this is too much idealistic point of view, and there is no possibility for equality of everybody in the world. According to Plato, the possibilities of man to reach existence are limited by their mind. He held that opinion because he was a philosopher of idealism, and as far as you remember, all idealists believe that our possibilities to understand the world, to explore it, are limited by our mind. Are limited by our mind. Are limited by our mind. Okay. Plato tried to describe existence. To existence. And he did it according to philosophy of idealism. He did it according to philosophy of idealism. So Plato, another philosopher of idealism, has its own ontological theory too. Too. And according to Pythagoras, existence is a world of numbers. You know that Pythagoras was not only a philosopher, also he was a famous mathematician. And he was sure that mathematics is the only way to research existence. He was point of view that mathematics is a more important form of science, a more important than philosophy. More important than philosophy. Pythagoras believes that if man knows laws of mathematics, he could reach a harmony of existence. Pythagoras believes that if man knows the laws of mathematics, he could reach a harmony of existence. Okay, idea of harmony was basic in philosophy by Pythagoras, with the idea of number, of course. And Pythagoras was sure that if we reach the harmony, we will understand the aim of our existence. We understand the aim of our existence. Okay, philosopher of materialism, Aristotle, has its own ontological theory too. Aristotle was of opinion that existence is material because all world around us is material. According to Aristotle, existence is based on four elements: form, matter, purpose, and creator. Form, matter, purpose, and creator. And if we want to explore existence, we need to explore each of these elements. The main aim of human existence, according to Aristotle, is to reach a golden mean. The golden mean, it was a basic concept of ethical theory of Aristotle. According to the theory of golden mean, we must live without extremes in our life, and as it must be a main idea of our existence, a main idea of our existence. Aristotle criticized an idealistic ontology by Plato. Aristotle was strictly confirmed that there is no goodness for everybody, and the basic element, the one of the basic element of existence is inequality. All people are unequal, and we must understand it if we want to explore the existence. And there is many examples of inequality in our life: physical inequality, biological inequality, economical, social, political, and so on. And Aristotle believes that inequality is a basic element of develop of our world. If everything will be equal, there will be no development, according to Aristotle. Okay. Please pay your attention that all philosophers of antiquity didn't divide existence and mind and believe that they are single. The next historical epoch is the epoch of Middle Ages, and philosophers of this epoch try to create a religious ontology. What was the reason for it? In the philosophy of the Middle Ages, the main form of science was not philosophy but theology, and the development of philosophy was was dependent by theology. That's the reason why ontology of Middle Ages was religious. So Aurelius Augustine, philosopher of patristic. In the philosophy of ancient Greek, were two basic types of philosophy: idealism and materialism. So in philosophy of Middle Ages, were two basic types of philosophy, but it was patristic and scholastic. What is patristic? This is a type of philosophy that based on the dogmas of the Catholic Church. One of the most famous dogma of Catholic Church is the dogma of creation. According to this dogma, all our world, all existence in our world was created by God. It was created by God. Okay. The second philosopher of Middle Ages, Thomas the Aquinas, he was philosopher of scholastic. This is a type of philosophy that based on the explanation of dogmas of the Catholic Church. What you need to know about ontological views of this philosopher? Saint Augustine and Thomas Aquinas believes that existence of the world was based on the existence of the God. Also, they try to prove the existence of the God. Aurelius Augustine created one proof, and Thomas Aquinas 5 proofs. Their perception of man's existence was idealistic because they believed in the life after death. Now I try to tell you about the existence of about proofs of God existence in a brief. Please pay your attention to the screen. So Aurelius Augustine created only one proof of God's existence. It was titled an Ontological Argument. Ontological Argument. According to it, the existence of the world depends from existence of the God. If there is no God, there is no world. That was opinion by Aurelius Augustine. It was very simple proof of God existence, but we can say, and it will be right, that this is not formal proof, but this is form of dogma. Okay. Thomas Aquinas created 5 proofs of God existence, 5 proofs of God existence, and now I tell you about it in a brief. So the first one, proof of target. Everything in our world has a target, and the source of target is God. The next, proof of movement. All world is in a movement. All world is in a movement, and the main source of movement is God. Proof of degree of quality. According to this proof, we can make a difference between good and evil because of God. God gives us its possibility. We can use it only by will of God. The next, proof of reason. Every event has its reason, and the source of reason is God. And the last one, the proof of necessity. Nothing in the world happens by accident. Everything goes by will of God. The most important thing that you must remember about ontology of Middle Ages is that it has a religious character, because influence of religion on the science in the epoch of Middle Ages was strong, and philosophy was only second type of science in the Middle Ages. But the problem of ontology and the problem of the world's existence was rather actual in philosophy of Middle Ages. That's the reason why Thomas Aquinas and Aurelius Augustine created their theories of ontology, their theories of existence. But their ontology was religious, and they criticized the ontology of ancient Greek, because in the ancient Greek, the problem of existence of the world and the human was connected with the problem of existence of nature. According to philosophers of Middle Ages, God created everything in our world, includes nature. That's the reason why we need to explore existence of the world with by connection with existence of the God. Idea of existence and ontology has its evolution in the different historical periods and in the different epochs in the development of philosophy. Ontology of Renaissance. Existence of this period was based on the nature, and was connected with the nature. The perception of existence in philosophy was separated from religion. If ontology of Middle Ages was religious, ontology of Renaissance was philosophical, and it was materialistic too. Ontology of the New Age. In this historical epoch, the problem of existence was studied by the dialectic, and in this period was final separation between perception of existence and mind in philosophy. What was the necessity for it? Because in each historical epoch of philosophy, different scientists try to find the answer on the basic question of philosophy: what comes first, mind or existence? And the epoch of the New Age, its philosophers decided that they must separate existence and mind in philosophy. What about ontology of enlightenment? You need to know that research of existence in philosophy of this epoch was associated with problem of the world's perception. Different philosophers created their own models of the world perception, and they believe that the very important part of our existence is understanding of the world around us. So, if we're going to use different science, if we explore the world around us, we could understand the aim of our existence, its context. Okay. A problem of existence was very important for philosophy, for the German classical philosophy. Was very important for the German classical philosophy. Now I want to tell you about ontological theory by Immanuel Kant. He was one of the most famous German philosophers. He created the German philosophy, and he have its own ontological theory. He has its own ontological theory. His own ontological theory. Okay, what is this theory? What is this theory? Immanuel Kant was an idealist, and his ontology was based on idea of moral. According to him, human existence defined by his moral norms and values. Kant, by himself, believes in moral evolution of man, and this moral evolution took part in different forms of our existence. Kant's approach to ontology was personified. First of all, he explores the existence of man as a moral being. Kant believes that the basic law of our existence is not physical law, is not judicial law, but the law of moral. Kant was on opinion that it's more important law in our life than the law of judicial. So, according to Kant, human existence was a form of moral evolution, and a high level of moral evolution is a condition of internal world. What does it mean? Internal world. According to Kant, internal world is a world without wars. Is a world without wars. Kant believes that in the future, all states can refuse from wars and gonna live in peace. Now, the next philosopher of German classical philosophy was George Hegel. He was an idealist too. So, what was his opinion about problem of existence? He used dialectic in his ontology. As far as you already know, dialectic is a section of philosophy that studies different contradictions of development of world, society, state, and so on. Hegel believed that existence is full of contradictions. And if we want to understand these contradictions, we must use logic. What is logic? This is a section of philosophy that studies the laws of thinking. The most important idea of Hegel's ontology is dividing existence on the existence of nature and existence of society. Hegel by himself called it nature existence and expedient activity of people, social existence. This is very important moment in development of ontology. This is a very important moment in the development of ontology. And Hegel was one of the first philosophers who divided that there is a necessity to separate existence on several forms. What was the reason for it? First, existence is full of contradictions, and we need to use a dialectic if we want to explore it. So, if development of existence is full of contradictions, it means that we can talk about several forms of existence, not about only human existence, but about other forms of existence. And now I'm going to tell you about it. Let's take a break on a few minutes. So, if we talk about existence, we need to describe its basic form. There is several basic forms of existence, 6 forms if will be the node. Let's talk about them. The first one, material existence. This is existence of the material world. This form of existence is often used in the philosophy of materialism when is necessity to describe a world around us. Ideal existence. This is existence that we sometimes can understand by our mind. For example, our dreams. For example, our dreams. This form of existence is often used by philosophers of idealism when they need to describe some events of our world by their philosophy. Human existence. This is existence of people. Man existence is determined by our mind. What does it mean? It means that we can organize our existence by our mind. All people live in society, and ontology try to explore the existence of society. This is existence of different social groups, classes, institutions, and so on, and so on. This existence is often used in social philosophy. The main object and subject of this type of philosophy is a different process in the existence of society. Nominal existence. This is existence that we never could understand by our mind. What can be an example of nominal? The life after death, or some forms of religion, okay, and the last one is phenomenal existence. Is existence that we understand subjectively. What is phenomenon? A phenomenon is some kind of event, or phenomenon is some man who we admire. But if something phenomenon for one man, it can be an unusual thing for another man. Because of this, we can tell that phenomenal existence is existence that we understand subjectively. Okay, all this form of existence we can describe one by one, or we can explore it in a system because they are connected to each other. Okay, you need to know that there is two basic forms of existence, or development of existence. The first one is progress, and the next one is regression. So what is progress? This is a qualitative improvement in the development of an object and phenomenon. This is a positive aspect of development of existence. And what is regression? This is qualitative and quantitative deterioration of the development of an object or phenomenon. This is a negative phenomenon, of course, as far as you can understand. Okay, what we can tell about ontology in general. Ontology is a section of philosophy that studies existence. The creator of ontology was a German philosopher, Rudolf Buclinius. Existence is the basic concept of philosophy. If we use existence, we can describe all processes and events in the world around us. We can describe a development of the nature, society, state, human, and so on. This is not only basic concept of philosophy, this is universal concept of philosophy. Okay, the main question of ontology: what is existence? And if we want to understand, if we want to get an answer on this question, we must remember that there are two types of understanding of existence. The first one is idealistic. According to this type, existence is a form of substance. And the next one is materialistic. According to this, existence is a form of substrate. So these two types of ontology in different forms and in different variants is basic for philosophy. An ancient Greek philosopher Parmenide created the concept of existence. He was philosopher of Hellenic school, and he was philosopher of idealism. Parmenides believes that there is nothing in the world except existence, and he was criticized for such theory. He was criticized by philosophers of materialism, and according to them, was a Heraclite. Heraclite believes that there is many contradictions in the development of existence. That's the reason why he created a concept of non-existence. What is non-existence? According to Heraclite, non-existence is important philosophical concept that describes the other aspects of development of the world, society, nature, and so on. Heraclite was philosopher of materialism. He believes that all our existence is based on such a material phenomenon like fire. He believes that all existence is based on the fire. And he created the concept of non-existence, and he believes that we must use a dialectic if we want to explore the existence, because there is too much contradictions in existence. Okay. In different historical epoch, there was different theories that explain existence, and in each historical epoch in the history of philosophy was a different understanding of existence. Ontology of antiquity of philosophy of ancient Greek, it has a philosophical character. And philosopher of antiquity connected the problem of existence of the world with existence of the nature. Okay, in the epoch of Middle Ages, ontology was religious. What was the reason for it? You must remember that in the Middle Ages, the main form of science was theology, and philosophy was only the second form of science. And the problem of existence of our world was deeply connected with the problem of existence of God. That's the reason why ontology of this period was religious, and philosophers of Middle Ages tried to create the proof of God's existence. The first philosopher who tried to separate existence on several forms was Heraclite. He told us about existence of society and existence of the state. This was very important because he was first philosopher who tried to tell us there is no only existence of a man. If we want to understand existence, we must separate it on the several forms, because existence is a universal concept that describes different aspects of the world's development. Heraclite was fond of dialectic, Hegel was fond of dialectic, like Heraclite. He has an influence of philosophy by Heraclite, but Hegel was an idealist. Hegel was an idealist. And when he tried to explore the existence, he used a concept absolute. He used a concept absolute. If he tried to explore existence, he used a concept absolute. He used a concept absolute. Okay, there are 6 basic forms of existence: ideal existence, material existence, human existence, social existence, nominal existence, and phenomenal existence. We can describe these forms one by one, or we can describe them all together, but we must remember that they are connected with each other. And this 6th form of existence is the basic element of the system of ontology, Okay, there are 2 ways for studying existence in philosophy. First one is idealistic, and second one is materialistic. Idealists used a concept of substance if they want to describe existence, and materialists use the concept of substrate if they want to describe existence. First philosophers who did it were philosophers of Miletian school. This school was created by an ancient Greek philosopher Thales, and the main object and subject of this school was the problem of beginning of a life. This was the problem of beginning of a life. This was a very important problem, and each of philosophers of Miletian school was an opinion that there is a different idealistic and materialistic phenomenon in the base of existence. For example, Thales believed that the basic of existence is water. Heraclite believes that the basic of existence is fire. Anaximander believed that the basic of existence is just a moment, please.